Hey guys, Brian over here. Just wanted to give you a quick video based on a request. I had a special request to make a video about the screen operations on a 2021 Highlander XLE. So, when you're in a 2021 Highlander XLE, your cockpit looks like this. So let's go through some of the operations of the infotainment system. So I'll start from left to right, going up and down. So the home screen, which I'm in, fun fact by the way, you can tell what screen you're in because on the top left it'll tell you. See? Audio, I know I'm in menu, and now I know I'm home. So the home screen is a great place to see multiple pieces of information all at once. I can even tap those pieces of information to get more. Back to home. When my phone is connected, it'll show shortcuts to calling people, and then when the radio is on, it will show me what I'm doing as far as music. But I'm going to turn the radio off for copyright reasons. So there's your home screen. You can even change what your home screen looks like or how it's displayed by going into menu, setup, and then I can customize home screen. I can change the layout into a 4-panel, see? I can even change what it shows. I happen to like the 3-panel, most people do. If I want the big one on the left, I can even change the layout to this. I think it's better to have the phone on the left because you're more likely to want to call somebody while you're driving on a trip. So to me, this is optimal. Clock isn't really necessary because you have the time right there. So to me, the 3-panel setup is great. So once I change my setup, I can just hit the back button, and when I go home, see? I got my eco, my phone, and my music. Now menu is going to be one of the big ones. Menu, this is where I can change information, or, well, not change information, but pretty much change some settings, see information, and even turn the screen off. So when I'm in menu, turning the screen off is here on display. Of course, I can adjust some settings on my brightness and contrast, but there you go, screen off. So I can actually listen to music and change the volume without the screen coming back on. But if I want the screen to come back on, I just hit any button, and the screen is right back on. Here's where I can get to my audio, back to menu. So menu is kind of like a place where I can get to all the apps. This will prompt me to connect my phone to Bluetooth. Of course, I can connect a phone to Bluetooth by selecting that. Back to menu. This will go through the apps I have. So this vehicle has Remote Connect, which is right here. So that's how you initialize your Remote Connect. For people who haven't initialized your Remote Connect yet, basically you just set it up in the Toyota app, and then they will email you an authorization code, which you enter here. Most new cars, you will have to do a software update, which is going to be down below. But it'll probably prompt you for that. So yeah, you usually won't have to go into here to do your software update unless you've had the car for a while, because once you're trying to initialize your Remote Connect, which is in your apps, it's going to prompt you to do that software update. These are notifications, and here's Wi-Fi. Verizon gives you 2 gigabytes, which gets used up pretty quick, but you can set up a account with them and have more Wi-Fi. That's great for people that live in a dead spot or in an area where they work, or if they're traveling, you know, telemarketing, stuff like that. All right, back to menu because it's a big one. Projection is where I can put stuff from the phone onto the screen. Of course, these cars come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto now. Info. This is where I can see more information about the alert history, so things the car's been trying to tell me, or my gas economy, which if you just bought the car, I would give it a couple weeks to get a real accurate reading. The car's going to learn your driving style. I can even see the history. Not much now because this car only has 14 miles on it. Info. Right there. Setup. That's going to be your big one. So when I hit menu, I go to setup. This is where I can change some really cool settings. I can change the color theme. And that even changes, check this out, changes the shape of the buttons. Now they're round. Back to setup. Say I want to go back to black and blue. Boom. Say I like the blue, but I want it a little bit lighter. Check that out, the screen is bright. For some people, that's easier to read. I just think it looks cool to have a darker screen. But my customer that's taking this vehicle home, I think he'll actually prefer this. So I'm going to leave it at that. You can even darken things up a little bit as well. So this is pretty much everything on menu. Setup gets a little bit more involved. There are a lot of things that most people won't change for setup, but this is also where you can do the adjust the time. You can change your language. Remember, customize home screen. If I don't like the beep, I can turn it on and off. These are some advanced settings that most people don't get into. But then on the very bottom is your software update. I can also access the Bluetooth connection here. I can add and remove devices. I can change some audio settings. I can also add and remove phones from here as well. A little redundant, but that's fine. In voice commands in the setup menu, I can even teach it to recognize my voice. I can change the volume. I can change the prompts. It really does get advanced. For people with voice commands, they do like to have these settings, which is nice to have. And vehicle settings is great because I can change when the doors lock and unlock based on if I put it in park or drive. So I actually set my pickup truck so when I put it in park, the doors stay locked. Most vehicles, when I put it into drive, the doors lock, and when I put it into park, they unlock. But I like it on my truck when I put it in park that the doors stay locked. So I can change that right there, which again is menu, setup, go down to vehicle, and then I go to customization. Right there. I can even change how long the headlights stay on when I park it, if they stay on at all. I can change the sensitivity to the auto headlights, so how it senses the darkness or light. I can decide if it has daytime running lights or not. I can even change the interior light to stay on a little bit longer, which I'm going to do for him. He'll definitely appreciate that. Convenience services. Back to setup. I'm trying to keep the video short and concise. Wi-Fi, this is where I would register for my Wi-Fi, which, like I mentioned, you get 2 gigabytes. And then the Entune app suite. I'm going to make a separate video about the Entune app suite because it's a very controversial topic, which we can get into later. Chime in the comments if you use Entune and what you think about Entune. Audio. So audio is basically your radio. Now you'll notice it doesn't have a CD player anymore, so on your smartphone you'll definitely want to download your favorite albums or just stream. But yeah, I can access the radio, AM and FM. Once I go to FM, which, let me turn that way down so I don't get copyrighted. Say I like this station, I can tap and hold it to whatever number I want. And then I can even use the arrows on the steering wheel to go through the different songs. And then I can change presets, etc. Back to audio. Station list, options, it gets super involved. Most of the stuff people leave the way it is, but for sound, that's important. For each different audio source, I'm going to hit audio again. For each different audio source, you can have different sound settings. So say for FM, I want to make it sound a little bit less fuzzy on the top. I can turn the treble down a little. I can turn the bass up and warm it up. Now back to audio. Say I'm listening to Sirius and I want it to actually be bumping hard on the bass and I need to crisp it up a little bit. I can do that. So that's very nice. They even give you that option when you're listening to the music as well. Map. So this car does not have in-house navigation. It operates solely based off of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's going to be when I plug it into this USB. This is the only USB that operates your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. These are solely for charging. But this one is for charging and infotainment. This is going to be your music. That's why it has this little symbol, because that's information. This is just for charging. This will charge as well, but that's how you project what's on your phone onto here. So when you plug your USB plug in your smartphone here, you'll be able to use whatever navigation app you like, and it's going to show up right on the screen for you. This is how I seek through the tracks for my music. This is another phone operating button here, so this will actually go to the phone menu. I can also prompt it by pressing this. When I press phone, it'll prompt me to connect a phone, or if I'm connected, it's actually going to show me my contacts, call history, favorites, etc. And then for apps, we discussed that earlier. We accessed it from the menu, which is here. See? It's an interweb. Everything's connected. A little bit of redundancy, but the redundancy is what makes it easy for people because there's multiple ways to get to things. Just a recap, the hard buttons on the side are not the only way to navigate this because it's also a touchscreen. You can customize a lot of stuff with the car. You can access everything from here. And to make it really easy for people, this screen is solely for information and entertainment. This screen is going to be for warnings, hazards, and stuff involved with the actual vehicle. So that's your fun screen. That's your important, pertinent information that's important now. Hope that helps. I think the video is going to be around 10 minutes. If you guys have any other requests, let me know in the comments and I'll be glad to help you. See you in the next one.